Okay, so Mr. Biggers here, I just want to go ahead and go through this just a little bit for those of you that maybe didn't get it in class time. So we're going to start here with number 1. Two angles are complementary if the sum of their angle measures is 90 degrees. The way I remember that is that if I have like a dinner, the complement to my dinner isn't going to be like the big meal. It's going to be like what goes along with it. So it's a smaller number. So two angles that are supplementary, they have a sum of 180 degrees. The way I remember that is supper. Supper is another word for dinner. And supper starts with sup, S-U-P-P. So if you remember those two things, you'll be able to do this assignment totally, perfectly fine. So number 3 here, the complement of a 30-degree angle has a measure of what? Well, how do we figure that out? Well, right here I see complement, which I think complementary. And so I know that, if you look over here, I'm circling it in blue, complementary, the sum is 90 degrees. So if I know 30 plus a number that we don't know, x, equals 90, then I know to figure out what my missing angle measure is, all I have to do is 90 minus 30. And then I get a angle measure of 60 degrees. So a supplementary angle sums to be 180. So instead of doing 90 minus 65 here, I'm going to do 180 minus 65. It's also important to note that a 180-degree angle is a straight line, and a 90-degree angle is like a corner in a room, if you think of it that way. So 180 minus 65. Once you do that, you will get an answer of 115. So that is our missing angle measure there. So we're going to come down here. So if you look at number 5 here, we can see that this line that I'm drawing in red makes a straight line. What do we know about a straight line? A straight line is 180 degrees. So we know that one of the angles that make up the straight line is 128 degrees. So what we can do to find the missing angle is simply subtract the 128 from 180. So 180 minus 128 is equal to 52 degrees. So 52 degrees is our missing angle. So same thing here for number 6. So if you need to get that written down, pause the video so you can write that down. Number 6 here, we can see that this makes a straight line when you combine it with the angle of 73 degrees. So we know those two angles together, this one here and the yellow one, added together make 180. So I have to do 180 minus 73 to find our missing angle. So when you do that, you should get an answer of 107 degrees. So that's your answer for number 6. And then here, this is where we get a little tricky. So if you have a sticky note handy with you, now's the time to pull it out, pause the video, grab one, or if you have another sheet of paper that you could cover something up with. So what I want you to do is I want you to cover up number 7 and 8 first, which feels kind of backwards, but we have to figure out 9 before we can figure out 7 and 8, in my opinion. And I want you to put the sticky side along this straight line. I want you to notice, does your sticky note make a straight line with that edge? And the answer is yes. So that is going to make a 180-degree angle because it's a straight line. So I know this 80 degrees plus whatever this is equals 180. So to find our missing angle, we have to do 180 minus our given angle, which is 80, and we get a missing angle measure of 100. So that's going to be this angle here. So what I want you to do is now either move your piece of paper that you covered up your line with or your sticky note. And I want you to see here, if you have your notes still, you'll notice that we have a pair of vertical angles. So right here and right here are vertical angles. Vertical angles are always equal to each other and they're always opposite to each other. So 80 degrees is opposite to this unknown angle. but we know that they're going to be an equal angle measure. So number 8 is also going to have an angle measure of 80 degrees. We can use that same principle to determine number 7. The opposite angle to number 7 is 100 degrees, which we determined right here. So that means 7 must also be 100 degrees. If you don't believe me, you can see that this makes a straight line here, and these two add to be 180, and these two add, or not those two, these two add to be 180. So use your sticky note to help you on the next problems. I just want to do one more here together. So if you have your sticky note, put your sticky side here and cover up 11 and 12. Start by finding number 10. So once again, we have made a straight line with our sticky note. We know a straight line is equal to 180 degrees. We're given an angle of 65 degrees. So we're going to subtract that, and that's going to help us find our missing angle. So in your calculator, you can do 180 minus 65, and you'll get 115 degrees as your missing angle. Use what we know about vertical angles to help find the other, or number 12. And I'll go ahead and identify number 11 for us. So remember your vertical angle rules here. And now if this side is 65, I know this side is the same identical angle. So it's also going to be 65 because they're vertical or opposite. So there's your answer for number 11. You're going to use this to help you on this side of the worksheet and your next worksheet. I do want to talk about a problem down here though. This is a right angle, so that's given to us 90 degrees. We know that already. We know these two angles must also then be 90 degrees because they're vertical angles from each other. So using that, we know that these two angles here are they supplementary or are they complementary? Well, remember, supplementary, supper, that's your bigger one. This is complementary, so the smaller one. These two are complementary to each other. To find our missing angle, we take 90 minus our degree measure, and then we get our answer of 23 degrees. So number 17 is 23 degrees. So that's how you do the 90-degree ones. Use this to help you on this side of the homework, and also use it to help you on the other page as well.